Hi everybody, in this video I want to have a quick chat with you all in relation to mortgage interest rates and the terms of mortgages. Obviously from watching my content from some time now, you'll always know I recommend the lowest interest rate, and we always talk about term as well and trying to keep the term as low as possible on a mortgage. I'm going to share my screen with you and show you one of the calculator tools that I use with all my clients. Now I use these in all my financial planning consultations, but also in the mortgage consultations. And the team that look after the mortgage consultations use them with live with our clients as well. So I really want to demonstrate how much money you pay to the bank with a higher interest rate than you need to take. And this is where I think we come in as financial planners, as well as being what would be traditionally known as probably a mortgage broker service. So we're very passionate. If you've been following the page again for some time, you know, I'm very passionate about financial planning and make sure everybody has a really good financial plan. It's so important that the same comes when you're talking about a mortgage. So I'm going to share my screen quickly with you, give you guys a kind of an example. Now, these examples are some of the examples I do in these videos. I'm going to do more of these videos going forward, are actually real life cases of clients we've been dealing with over the past. So this is a case where we switched a mortgage for somebody that was on a slightly higher interest rate and reduced their term. But wait till you see the impact that it makes on the client's overall financial journey during their life. It's quite staggering. So I'm going to share my screen now and we can have a quick look at the figures. So in this example, this is CashCalc, one of the tools I use with every client. And when I say with every client, we do this with all our full financial planning consultations or investment clients. And it's a really good service. But in this one, we're just honing in on the mortgage. You see here we have a client, we're going to future-proof this one to say it's going to start in 2021, so January 2021, 350,000 of a mortgage. Interest rate for this client was currently 3%, but there's a lot of people out there that might take a 3% rate or 2.9% rate off somebody as well. And then the term, which is a real kicker here, is 35 years. Now, as you see here, when you calculate this, you'll see that the client is paying the bank $13.50 a month. Now, some people pay more in rent, in fairness, especially if you're living in Dublin, Cork, or Galway, maybe some of the bigger cities, you might pay more than $1,300 in rent. If that's a case, and say you're paying $1,500, some people get sold a mortgage on the basis of reducing down the cost of what they're paying out on a monthly basis, which I don't think is always the best advice. But let's look at what happens here. The total interest on the €350,000 loan is going to be 215 grand over that 35-year period. So just let that sink in. You're going to pay the bank back the 350 they gave you along with 215 grand of interest, which is a massive amount of money. Now, over 35 years, it's a massive leakage of cash from your bank account into the bank's bank account. So basically out of your back pocket and into the bank's profit center, which you don't want to be doing. Now, first and foremost, I'm going to show you what happens if you reduce the term. Okay, so let's just go down here and take the 25-year and reduce it down to 25 years. Okay, so when we do that, you'll see the impact on the figures. So first and foremost, you're going to see that the 300 or 1,350 odd is going up to 1,650. So all in all, you're talking about an extra 300 quid thereabouts in a monthly repayment. A lot of people get scared by that. But if you're paying 1,500 or 1,600 quid rent, and now you have your own home and you're going to be mortgage free in 25 years, it's worthwhile stretching it maybe. And look on the other side here, guys, 147,000 in interest. So we've just saved 68 grand. That means you're not paying the bank 68 grand more than you should be. It's madness. So you really need to keep an eye on the term. Don't always go for the 35-year term. Now, another thing to say is that I get couples in all the time that will say to me, look, Paul, we're going to start at 35 years and we're going to reduce it down. That very rarely happens. So if you can put the 1,500 or 1,600 quid aside, I think you're better off straight away. Now, this is where the kicker comes in. That's just by reducing the term. So everybody can do that. They're real live figures. You're going to save yourself 30 or 68 grand if you change your term from 35 to 25 years, which is amazing. Now, if we do this also, look at the interest rate is 3%. There's a very good 2.3% fixed rate out there. It's excellent. I think let's have a look at the figures. Let's click save and calculate, and now my repayment is only 50 and 35, so save about 100 quid in the repayment on a monthly basis. But let's look at the interest over here, 110,000 of interest. So remember, we started the interest rate at 215 grand. So there's 105,000 euro in the interest. Now, obviously the interest rate is 2.3 fixed for 2 years. interest rates may go up in the future. I think they're going to remain low for the very foreseeable future on the back of COVID-19 and the back of interest rates being low from the central bank point of view. So I can't see them going above that 2.3 for the considerable future. Obviously, it can fluctuate, but one thing that won't fluctuate in these figures is the term. If you bring your term down by 25, you got that initial saving of 68 grand. And if you reduce your interest rate to 2.3%, you're now saving 110,000 euro in interest. And this is what the service we do. So what we're going to do is, we've never done this before. I got to launch it really in this video. We're now going to start doing purely mortgage consultations. A lot of people come to me for a financial plan along with a mortgage, but we are launching the Ask Paul mortgage consultation, which is perfect for people that want to get a mortgage in the next 6 months and feel they're really ready to go, or even if you're planning for a mortgage in 12 months. And the fee is going to be 250 euro, but the fee of 250 euro gets you the consultation, gets you a full review of everything as well while you're there. But also, when you go to submit your application, we won't be charging any more additional fees. So we think it's really, really good value. Get you a financial plan, get you really into, I suppose, the mortgage application process as well. And that mortgage application process is where we hold your hand on packaging your mortgage. We have a really good success rate of getting mortgages approved, because basically we don't put them into the banks until they're bulletproof. So look, just let this sink in for a second. There's a lot of money that people basically waste, in my opinion, by taking silly interest rates and silly terms that they don't really need to do. So again, everything we do at Ask Paul is all about knowledge. I'll make sure that you, the consumer and the customer of the banks and our clients, really understand everything with your finances. But your mortgage is probably going to be the biggest financial commitment you make. So it's really important that you get really sound financial advice. And I do think it should form part of an overall financial plan. I hope you found this video interesting. Please, I know I always say this, but even if you're not going to use my mortgage service and you're going somewhere else, please share this video. Please tag as many first-time buyers, as many people that have a mortgage, because in the situation where somebody has a higher interest rate, they might have a 4% interest rate. The savings are even obviously much higher. So it's perfect for first-time buyer advice and for people switching their mortgage. So please share it around and make sure you tag people. Cheers and have a fantastic day.